Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to a special edition of Handicappers Corner. This is the Breeders' Cup, of course, on Friday, November the 3rd and Saturday, November the 4th. So we're going to have a couple of shows, as usual, joined by Drew Forrester. I'm Mike Heads, and we're going to go through the five Friday races, cards. And then there's 9 that we'll be touching on the Saturday program, the 9 Breeders' Cup races. But always a great weekend. You see the best of the best hooking into each other.
Yeah, from all over the world, which is, I mean, it makes our job really tough here. It's like, it's tough every year. It's tough every year. This year, I think it's even tougher. You're picking against horses that have unbelievable records, that have never run against each other, that are, it's a mishmash. And this year, of course, it is at Del Mar for the first time ever, so it's going to be absolutely beautiful weather. And one of the angles you can look at is horses who've had success over the Del Mar trip in the past. Yeah. That could be something you want to factor in, but all in all, extremely tough. We will try and give you a little bit of our opinion.
We're going to try.
We'll do our best.
I got my smart hat on. Hopefully I'll look wiser. I don't know if I do, but...
yes, very dignified and wise.
Yes. Let's get into the first race, which is the 5th race on the Del Mar card. It goes at 1:45 on Friday.
The marathon.
It is the marathon. We'll touch on the marathon. Got a field of 8 going 1 3/4 miles. Obviously a tricky distance. They'll start at the 6 furlong start and hit the wire twice. I went to the 1 Arch Nova. I thought 2 good efforts going marathon distances in New York. The company around him, I think, was pretty good compared to what's in here. Chris Landeros is an underrated rider, really nice rider that pretty much rides in the Midwest and Mideast, and he kind of floats around between Oaklawn and he's
Churchill,
in Texas, Remington, Churchill.
Yeah.
He migrates up to Arlington Park. He's all over the place. A really nice rider, and so. I think you can bet this horse with confidence if you do like the horse. But nicely drawn in gate 1. Not that the post is everything, but I think the horse will be in a good spot.
Yep.
He's proven he can go run around the track forever, and he's going to be dangerous. He has the class. I put the 7 Hard Aces, who probably is going to get over bet because he's been running in some grade 1s, and he's been in them, but he's not like threatening to win the races.
By 11,
But he has shown he can win at 1.5 miles in the past, and he's shown he likes Del Mar, and so he's going to be your favorite and definitely the horse to beat. And I put the 3 horse Destin for Todd Pletcher and Johnny Velasquez. This horse has some class too. Did run in the Jockey Club Gold Cup last time, a little too tough for him in that one, but this is a lot easier race.
Yeah,
I thought those are your 3 horses. It's tough in these 1 3/4 races. You can try and zero in on an angle and try and go with it. But I want 1, 7, and 3.
I have a couple of the same ones, but you went to Archinova, I went to Estrechada.
Yeah, we're testing. I know we don't get the easy names.
No, we don't.
Like we get at Hastings.
The Argentinian bred out of the Mike Pipey barn. Javier Castellano rides them. Just one going 1.5 miles on the turf. Oh, sorry, the mare. Mare to beat the boys. She just won going 1.5 miles, 2 stars back in a grade 3. Javier Castellano.
No better than that.
Yeah, she gets a bit of a weight break, gets in with 117, which does make a difference when you're going 1 3/4 miles.
14 furlongs.
She's been posting solid buyers. I think she fits very well in here. Mike Pipey does a great job with his horses, and obviously in great hands with Javier Castellano. I like the fact that she's forwardly placed too. For some, in these 1 3/4 races, 1.5 races, it always, like the Belmont, everybody always thinks it's going to be this deep closer. I find a lot of times it's the horses that are forwardly placed that can tick along.
A lot of the races set up where they just gallop for 1.25 miles and then sprint.
Then it's a sprint home, and you're trying to run down these horses. So I got Estrellada. I think she can win it. I got her on top of Destin. I like Destin. Another one, he laid very close in the Belmont last year, going 1.5 miles. Just got beat a nose by Creator, but. He's one another forward horse that I think can be very tough in here. Top connections there. Todd Pletcher have John Velasquez. And I put Hard Aces, the one you touched on, the John Sadler horse, will be the favorite. Got to have him in the mix, but I do have him in the 3rd spot. 4, 3, and 7 for me in the marathon. On to the Juvenile Fillies Turf. Flat mile over the Del Mar turf course.
Tough, tricky distance.
Another big, we got a lot of pages here. This is not...
It's
16
it's
not a Don 2-4 at Hastings we're dealing with here. We got, a full field of 16.
Well,
actually, 14 and 2 on the
also. 2
also.
are waiting to get in. Of course, we're doing this for our scratch.
And I'm going down near the inside happily. I'm all over Aidan O'Brien this week, and I love the way. I always love Aidan O'Brien and Bob Baffert. You could probably argue the 2 top trainers in the world. Aidan O'Brien just has these beautifully bred horses of Magner and Tabers. This one's a Galileo filly. And as I've touched on before, you don't see horses coming from overseas that have records like this. Generally, they like kind of ease them into it.
They don't mind losing races early for the greater good.
Exactly, exactly. They're not like cranked up to like
preps,
break a world record in their first start. They just kind of ease them into it. This filly's 4 for 6 with a second. Her worst start, as we just mentioned, was her first start, but since then she's reeled off 4 wins with a second in the middle, happily with Aiden's top rider, Ryan Moore, coming in to ride her. She looks very tough in here, and especially his horses are always tough. These English horses are always very tough. I mean, these are world-class horses they're bringing over here. They're not coming over here for no reason, but especially the turf races. I got Happily on top. Bill Mott's horse, another one that's coming here, another Irish bred, a filly that's been running in Europe, Great Britain, I should say. Capella Temptress, another one, as I mentioned, with a great record coming over here from England. 4 wins. 4 starts, 3 wins with a third. So she's been right there in all 3 of her races and does have a start over here, I should say, in North America. Ran at Woodbine and won a grade 1 at Woodbine, going a mile over the turf. Got her in the second spot, and I threw in Rushing Fall, the North American horse that looks tough in here out of the Chad Browbard. 2 straight wins for her. Broke her maiden, then won the grade 3 at Keeneland. Got an 85 and an 84 Bayard. Chad Brown's another guy that looks like he could have a big weekend here on Breeders' Cup. 2, 7, and 11 for me.
Yeah, I know. I don't have any. I have 2 of those 3 horses. I have 1 of those 3 horses. It shows you how great these races are and what great betting races they are. How many opportunities there are in these kind of races. But I don't. I mean, I didn't put Happily in the top 3, but I can see the horse winning.
But she
did run against the boys last time. Defeated the boys, a Group 1 race. She's had back-to-back Group 1 winners. It's just the tricky.
You got to narrow it down to we got to narrow it down to 3.
Her wins are on, 2 of her last 3 races are on straightaways, and like Delmar's a tight configuration. It's way different, and I just think the Europeans may, if they win, congratulations. They are always the better horses in these turf races. But I mean, I just think this is the one chance for the North American horses to really do well is at Delmar. This is the most
it's not like they're
North American
Chicago,
favorite surf, like Woodbine, Belmont, like Arlington, all these courses, and even the soft ground at Keeneland and Churchill in the fall would all favor Europeans. This is a harder surface, a really tight configuration. It's not a big, a mile is going to be a little abrupt for these horses. The stretch is quite short. They won't really be able to unleash a big stretch kick like they can on straightaways in Europe. But I've gone to the 1 best performance. I thought this horse is worth the 12 or 15 to 1 you're going to get. Good runner-up effort to Chad Brown's significant form last time. This horse showed good speed, had an outside draw. At Belmont, at 1 16th, you start on a turn. It's like starting at the kitchen at Hastings, pretty much. It is. It's like if you drew up and you had to put the starting gate, you'd put it at the kitchen at Hastings.
If you're on the outside.
At the track cafeteria, and then so the outside is a bad spot. This horse had a wide trip, ran a big second to significant form, and had a troubled trip even at Kentucky Downs. So I just think with Jose Ortiz jumping back aboard, I know he only rode this filly on the dirt, but he's finally going to get a chance to ride her on the turf. Nicely drawn. I think gate 1. I think all the inside posts will do well, or have a chance to do well at Delmar with a short run to the turn. It's not it's a difficult track. You need position, and this horse will go on Lasix. So I'm going to try this horse. I think it's a price play in here. The 7 horse, I agree with you, Capella Temptress. Very impressive win at Woodbine. I think it was firm ground, but I just think it wasn't crazy firm. Nice
that she had such a good form overseas, and she carried that.
Yeah, she ran well
into North America.
Joel Rosario, who rode best performance last time. I don't know if there was any.
A choice
whether Ortiz was going to be on the horse anyway, or whether Rosario's on a live horse here as well. But he rode this horse with so much confidence, sat it in behind the pace, at the head of the lane, still sat, and they just waited for an opening. This horse exploded and produced a really nice move. She's live. And I put the 8 significant for him. A little light on experience, but the horse was disqualified in his first start. Got to come back in a maiden race, or broke its maiden in a stake race, the grade 3 Miss Griot at Belmont, and did it quite comfortably and did it like a real professional. Chad Brown's always dangerous in these races.
Yeah, he's looking to have a big weekend too.
But I've left out Moon Dash. Another long shot is a 14. Moon Dash, threw that one in. Tough trip last time against Fatale Bear. And Rushing Fall, I don't mind your Rushing Fall either. There's a lot of chances in here. I went 1, 7, and 8 in the juvenile fillies turf. On to the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. I like this one a lot. I like the 3 Sharp Azteca. I think it's the best bet on the day for me on the Friday program. This horse has just been brilliant. Didn't really want the lead at Belmont, the Kelso, but still settled nicely and just absolutely blew the doors off the field. Won a 23-4 last quarter, which is not easy to do at Belmont Park. Prior to that one at Monmouth, did lose to More Spirit in his comeback from, which is usually your worst race, is your comeback from Dubai.
Back from Dubai.
And that was the case. This horse was trapped down on the inside on the track. You did not want to be down on the inside in the Met Mile. And this horse
has worked well over the Del Mar Circuit. 58-3.
And once again, a kind of a speed favoring course as well as Del Mar. Drawn nicely. I don't see any. I think he gets the lead. Accelerate has some speed. More Spirit has some speed. Gato Del Oro has speed also, but might get in the way, which is good, which might give me a little buffer to keep the 6 and 8, 3 and 4 wide, maybe going into the first turn. But I like Sharp Azteca. More Spirit's live as well. What can you say? This horse has got big wins in his last 2 starts, but hasn't been seen since June.
Tough.
And who did I put in for third? Awesome Slew. Main reason, the runner-up, the player, came back to win a big race at Keeneland the other day, and I thought it's pretty light. So I just thought this horse was the next best horse. But I really like Sharp Azteca. It's 3, 6, 5.
I went to Accelerate. Victor Espinoza, John Sadler. Last time, ran a grade 2 at Del Mar, going mile 16th, and crushed, won by 8. This is something you might want to look at this weekend, is horses that do like
the course.
Like the Del Mar course. It is a little bit different. This horse has run over Del Mar 4 times, has 3 wins, and a third, coming off a good third behind Collected and Arrogate, who we'll see tomorrow on Saturday in the Classic. This guy went to the Dirt Mile. It might be just a class relief he needs. I have Accelerate on top of More Spirit, the one you touched on, the Baffert horse. What do you say about him? Baffert and Mike Smith team up. He won 3 in a row and getting more impressive with each start. Been off since June, but a horse that's in good form right now, has been training forwardly for this. And Baffert, what is he off the layoff? 28%. I mean, he doesn't.
No, the horse is ready.
Doesn't hurt his chances that this guy's coming off the layoff.
These horses
and I threw in Battle of Midway for a long shot here. The best race of his career was at Del Mar in the Share Belief. Got 101 Buyer, 1 by 6 back in August. He likes the course too, and Gary Holdendorfer will have him ready. I went 8, 6, and 9 in the Dirt Mile. I left out Mike's top pick. These are tough races.
It is. It's a practical joke. We left out both of us.
Yeah, exactly.
10-hole hurt.
Class horse.
I just worry about the post for some of these horses. That's the only reason. The 8, 9, and 10 are all good enough to win, but they're just the draws are tough on them. On to the 8th race.
On to the boys, the juvenile turf now. Going a flat mile, field of 14. I'm going to the 7, James Garfield. Another one that comes over from Europe. Very impressive record. 6 starts, 5 of them in the money, including 2 wins. Just got beat a nose in a grade 3 at York. Then came back to win a grade 2 at Newbury under Frankie Dettori. Frankie Dettori shows up Breeders' Cup weekend too. He's got a great record over the years at Breeders' Cup. And I like this horse. I think he's very live. Does move to the Lasix program. You see a lot of these Europe horses that come in here, they will get on the Lasix program. I got Frankie Dettori over James Garfield. 6-1 morning line on James Garfield. Got him on top of my boy Jack. How could I not throw in my boy Jack?
His son Jack.
A very, just a horse that's really improving.
Yep.
And looked very good last time in the Zuma Beach. It was only an overnight stake, but I thought this is a horse that when he started going around 2 turns, has just, his first start in Maiden Specialweight going 5 was pretty flat. And now that he started going around 2 turns, he's improved steadily with every race. You look, he's gone 50, 68, 78, 80 Buyer last time. This is a horse going the right way for the brothers Keith and Kent DeSormo. And Kent DeSormo has been on a heater in the Southern California circuit lately. My boy Jack in the 2nd spot, and I put Mendeljean, Aidan O'Brien's horse, Ryan Moore, good second in the Darley Dewhurst stake. Aidan O'Brien seems to win this race every year. The juvenile turf. Didn't want to leave him out of it.
You pick him every year. You do well in this race.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I usually pick Aidan O'Brien. He seems to win this race every year. I do have him in the mix. Actually, an American-bred horse. He's the son of Scat Daddy. They paid $3 million for, and he comes back to America with Ryan Moore aboard. I think that, exactly. They just left their hand up the whole time. Mendeljean is my 3rd pick. 7, 13, and 1.
Okay, we got 7, 13, and 1. We're all 4 different again, or 3 are different
We're
in here
giving you
again.
6. You can box 6.
I'm going to go to the 4, Catholic Boy. Undefeated son of More Than Ready. Jonathan Thomas, a low-profile trainer for Bob LaPenta, who's a big-time owner. He had horses with Nick Zito for years.
Yep.
And but this horse, first time out, won quite comfortably. Obviously, at Gulfstream was just an easy race. Carlos Montalvo aboard. And then Manny Franco was aboard last time. This horse broke well, had to wait racing room the entire stretch. That's the nice thing, you can watch all the replays on these races. And
if you want to watch the replays too, for the European horses, you can go to YouTube.
YouTube's a great
tool. You can look
tool.
it up on YouTube and you can watch these races.
Just type in the name of the race and 217, let's say Dewhurst Stakes, and Mendelssohn's race. You can watch Mendelssohn, and which is great. But Catholic Boy hasn't done anything wrong yet. Defeated Untamed Domain, and perhaps these aren't the ones to beat. Untamed Domain and Hemp Hooray, who have a lot of common form in here, but Hemp
The
Hooray.
cleverly named Wesley Ward runner.
Yes.
Here, yes.
But Catholic Boy, nicely drawn in gate 4. Once again, tough trip. In these mile turf races, you need position. This horse has been at Del Mar, been steadily training at Bob LaPenta's training farm. And I just thought this horse is live. I watched the replays. This horse does have a quick acceleration, which you need in these races, especially going a mile. And this horse has a great turn of foot. I'm going to try Catholic Boy to defeat the 12. Hemp Hooray. There's no.
So you're going for the Catholic Boy. Hemp Hooray. Exactly.
Well,
That's a nice touch.
Like oil and water, eh? But Hemp Hooray got beat at.
I looked at that one.
Woodbine.
And Wesley is dynamite with his 2-year-olds.
Long stretch at Woodbine. Got beat by a pretty good Untamed Domain. Did have to battle on this pace, and if you notice the C after the turf, it was a closer's track that day, and this horse was battling up on the pace. Prior to that, a couple easy wins on turf. I just don't see any speed in here. The Euros don't have speed. No. A lot of the California and New York horses don't have speed. Hemp Hooray could get away pretty cheap on the head end and get a good trip under Johnny V. Good work at Del Mar in 47-3. So I put that horse in the mix, and I also put
as I mentioned too, Wesley's always dynamite with his 2-year-olds. What are his 2-year-olds stats? 23%.
No, he's
deadly.
Awesome. Artie Schillers are nice going a mile too. I just think he got beat last time. This is Woodbine. It's just a tough track or tough turf course to carry your speed for a mile. Yeah. Even though the fractions weren't.
And the horse that beat him come from 4 lengths off the Hemp or Untamed Domain. He come from off the pace and tagged him. Yeah.
And I put the 11 Snapper Sinclair in for third. Steve Asmussen's runner broke the name of Saratoga. I know. I got all the cheeky for our buddy Jeff Bloom. Used to have his book. Jeff Bloom 100 years ago when he rode here at Hastings. Now he's got stable. He's got syndicates together down in Southern California. But this horse won quite comfortably at Saratoga, then went up to Kentucky Downs for that little small meet.
Tough races.
They are. And this horse ran really well that day. It's a city zip. They love the turf. I'm still banking that the Euros aren't going to handle the Del Mar track.
Coming to get you.
I know you are. They always come to get me, and I still pick the Canadians or the U.S.
North American horses.
But I went 4, 12, and 11 in the juvenile turf, the boys' version of the.
Now for the highlights.
The distaff for fillies and mares here. Grade 1 event, of course, $2 million purse, mile and an eighth. I think it says a mile and an eighth. Yes, it does. I got a field of 8 going postward.
Leaving Stellar Wind off the ticket, Mike.
Yeah, I know. This horse loves Santa Anita Stellar Wind, but he did win at Del Mar. But he likes 4-horse and 3-horse fields too. That's my one knock on Stellar Wind.
Yeah, but she's tough.
I like Forever Unbridled. I thought this horse ran huge in the Fleur de Lis at Churchill Downs, and then ran really well at Saratoga, defeating Songbird. I know Songbird retired after the race, but still, Songbird had some pretty comfortable fractions. Songbird ran a good race.
It's still tough to run her down no matter what.
12-1 the last 8, and this horse ran her down. This filly ran her down, and well clear of Eskin for the Money, who won last weekend. She won a graded stake at Belmont, I believe. Eskin for the Money. I know it's not listed in our, because we got these forms a little early. But Forever Unbridled for me is the older horse running against a lot of 3-year-olds in here. The only older mare is, I think main contender is Stellar Wind. But I just think Forever Unbridled gets the trip sitting in behind the speed. I think she's the best horse. She ran 3rd last year behind Beholder and Songbird. This is not a Beholder and Songbird year. This is way easier than Beholder and Songbird. And I picked Forever Unbridled last year, and I'm going to try her again. I put the 5 Elate in for second. Obviously big wins in grade 1 races.
Rushed
Did defeat older mares last time. And but does seem to like the New York circuit. We'll see how she fares in California, but still very live. Jose Ortiz and Belmont. And I put the 7 horse, Paradise Woods. I'm going to put that one in for third.
Yeah.
Just because
Sarkowski's
either is really good or really, really bad. And when she's good,
when she
shows
up, she's a monster.
And there's not a pile of speed in here. Champagne Room has some speed. But I know Mario's not a super aggressive rider. He will let her run for a while, but he's not going to go crazy on the head end. The 2 has no speed. The only reason this horse is on the lead is they're 48, 47. There's 3 horses and 5 horses in the race, and this horse was just sitting off of the same horse, Valadeore, who was injured and retired. But you look at the other horses, there's no real speed in the race. Paradise Woods could clear, and Flavia Pratt could just try and open up. And
lightly raced, very classy filly.
I just wouldn't want to leave her out, and that's why I wanted to mention her. Stellar Win can win the race, of course, but I mean, I just enabled Tasman. I left off the ticket.
I know,
too.
I left her off too. And like,
she's
what
busy.
does
She's been busy.
Yeah,
and I worry that she lost
time.
the Cotillion, which wasn't the best race. Lockdown would be, who ran third, would be 80-1 in here, and Tiswell would be 20-1 in here. I just worry that maybe
she's going the wrong way. Although it was off a layoff.
Yep, but Bobby does well off layoffs, and he points these horses for those grade ones. But I know 6, 5, and 7. I really like Forever Unbridled.
I'm going to Stellar Wind. I mean, she's going to be a short price, but I can't get past her. Another one, 3 for 3 at Del Mar. She loves the course. She's in good hands. John Sadler, Victor Espinoza. She's won 3 in a row. She's won 10 of 15 lifetime. And a lot of those were running against, Beholder, as you mentioned, Songbird.
So those are way better horses.
Tough races that she's been tackling. She's 13 for 15 lifetime in the money. 3 for 3 this year, 3 for 3 at Del Mar. I'm going with the favorite Stellar Win. On top of the 5 and late, the one you touched on of Bill Motch, that last race. I can't get past that.
Beat Older Mares last time.
Older Mares by 8 1/4. As the favorite, but
she did win easy.
But just crushed. And Bill Mott, Jose Ortiz, top connections. Elaine in the second spot. I threw Mario in the third spot. Our good friend Champagne Room. Another one. 3 starts at Del Mar. She's hit for the cyclist. She's got to win a second, a third. That's where she started her career. That's where she did all the good. And of course, she won the juvenile fillies last year at 33-1. She shows up on big days on Breeders' Cup Day. And I just like the fact that they took her over to Remington, got a nice easy race into her.
Good race,
a rebound race, and she crushed, won by almost 4 lengths. So
Peterton's a smart trainer, and him and Mario have had a lot of success lately.
They have.
And of course, it was great to see them up at Hastings
That's
for the
right.
BC Oaks.
Yes.
They ran second, but still, it was the Ballerina that they were.
The Ballerinas come up ran second with the allowance filly.
It was nice to see them in town, but they're hooking up here with Champagne Room. Live again.
And as I mentioned, I think a really sharp move. Just take her over, get a comfortable, a 200-grounder, get a comfortable win, get her confidence going the right way as you lead her into Breeders' Cup, and she's worked well, 59-4 over the Del Mar surface. Sorry, that was at Santa Anita. 2, 5, and 1 for me in the distaff. That'll do it for our analysis of the Friday
races. Here's the recap. Back in race number 5, as we will start in the 5th. I went to the 1, Archinova, 1, 7, and 3. Race number 6, I went to the 1. Stick with the good posts, the Del Mar. Best performance.
Going to the rail.
Over the 7, Capla Temptress, and the 8, Significant Form. Race number 7, my best bet of the day. I really like the 3, Sharp Azteca. He's a solid miler. I think he's kind of a go-sapper type of horse. He's a really nice miler. 3-6-5 for me in the 7th. In the 8th, I went to the 4, Catholic Boy. Over the 12, Hemp Hooray. And the 11, Snapper Sinclair.
The clever
the all-name team. And in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, race 9, I went to the 6, Forever Unbridled. I went 6, 5, and 7.
On to my picks. There we go. Back in the 5th actually, the marathon. I went to the 4, Estrechada. Over the 3, Destin, with 7 Hard Aces. In the 6th, the Juvenile Turf, Phillies Juvenile Turf. I went to the 2, Happily, the Aidan O'Brien Invader. Happily, over the 7, Capla Temptress, and the 11, Rushing Fall. In the 7th, the Mile, I went to the 8, Accelerate, over the 6, More Spirit, and the 9, Battle Midway. In the 8th, the boys, Juvenile Turf. I went to the 7, the Irish Invader, James Garfield. Over the 13, My Boy Jack, and the 11, Mendel Jean. Excuse me.
Check in on Friday to see how our pronunciations were close
exactly.
for some of these horses. Bear with us because we're seeing these horses and knowing them for the first time.
Jean, I think. And then in the distaff, I went to the 2, Stellar Wind, over the 5 and 8, and the 1, Mario. Big shot there on number 1, Champagne Room.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to day 1 of the Breeders' Cup. Of course, the Friday, November 3rd. There is Seats available here.
Yes, on Friday.
On the Friday.
You can give us
Saturday, they're full.
Phone the morning of. Like Friday, you can give us a call. You can still reserve for Friday. It's not crazy busy on here, naturally, because it's a work day. But you're welcome to stop by. Saturday, call us in the morning and ask if we've had any cancellations, because at the time of taping, we are booked
Full,
solid.
Booked solid. But
The
yes.
last seat is for the fire marshal, because it will be very busy in here. But yeah, call us the morning up to see.
But the first Breeders' Cup race goes at 1:45 on Friday, so do get out here to the Derby if you can, and get out here and watch the races, or at home, or Hastings, Fraser Downs, wherever you're going to watch the races.
Any of your TBC outlets?
Yes, but it should be a fun day. 5 Breeders' Cup races for a lot of money, and we wish everyone lots of luck. On behalf of Drew, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. We'll see you for the Saturday, for 9 races on the Saturday Breeders' Cup program. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you here at the Derby Barn Grill.